All right, well, hello, my name is McLaughlin. For my senior project, I decided to do my research on the psychology behind conspiracy theories and why humans believe or disbelieve in them. So, why do people believe or disbelieve in conspiracy theories? I have a little joke for you guys here. First thing I saw on the internet. You all get it? Okay. All right, so what exactly is a conspiracy theory? Well, a theory that explains an event as being the result of a plot by a covert group or an organization, a belief that a particular unexplained event was caused by such a group. Oxford Dictionary definition. So I'm going to ask you guys to show me a raise of hands, and I'm going to ask you guys some questions. So who here believes in the existence of extraterrestrial life?
That it's proven or that it probably exists?
That it probably exists. Okay, so most of the room. Good. All right, who believes in subterranean reptiles ruling the world? Okay, Kyle's in there, yeah. The proven one. Very proven. Justin Bieber's supposed to actually be a reptilian, so, and Lady Gaga. So, yeah, watch out for
that, actually. That seems feasible to me.
Okay. Who believes that video games are just brainwashing mechanisms influenced by the government to make youths perfect soldiers?
Actually, that's wrong.
Okay, well, two. All right. Who here believes that Sasquatch is living in our remote forest in America? Okay, wow. Heather, why do you believe in Sasquatches? Why do you think that they exist? What evidence is there that they exist?
I don't know. There's the videos, and there's the Sasquatch hunters, and there's like, I don't know. You see pictures of them, and people have like real events.
How do you know that those pictures aren't just formed by conspiratorial groups to make people believe in Sasquatch more? Because there is no evidence.
But what if it is real evidence?
I don't really know how to answer that.
I choose to believe. Okay?
You choose to believe? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I actually do believe in Sasquatch myself, so. All right. So, the reason why there are so many conspiracies in today is because there are so many mysteries. There are so many secrets. And all conspiracies they're just mysteries and secrets. And with endless mysteries and secrets just come endless conspiracies. That's why there seems to be no end to them today. Now, when I was going to start this project, I had a really hard time figuring out what I wanted to do. I was bouncing around with several ideas, but nothing really seemed solidified. I wanted to find something that I could actually explain well, talk about well, and actually have fun reading and researching about. So I realized that conspiracies have always been a very strange and interesting topic, and I've always liked them myself. Probably the most difficult part about actually starting this project was just the beginning. I really didn't know where to find the research I needed for my articles and for the papers I had to write. So it did take me a little bit, but once I started getting the flow to it and just finding a lot of good resources, I realized there's really only 6 reasons why we believe in conspiracy theories, and they all correlate to one another in some way or another. The first one is instincts. We evolved to be suspicious. Suspicion helped us thousands of years ago when we were still surviving out in the wilderness. It helped us understand whether the rustle in the bushes was really just the wind, or if it was a predator looking to eat us. But thousands of years ago, we didn't care about which one it was. We just wanted to get out of there and be safe. Alienation. Humans are social animals. We need connection with other humans. It's really difficult for a single human to be outcast from society and still try to find himself or find enjoyment in life. The reason why alienation is such a big influence is because it makes people want to feel special. They're outcasted from everything, so they want to feel like they're better than the people who outcast them in the first place. And they also want to know almost everything. A major part of alienation comes with the need to kind of explain the world around you. And I guess it's also kind of just human influence in general. And social groups. Even conspiracists want to fit in, one way or another. And since usually they don't fit in with general society, they form their own groups, mainly on the internet, and these groups become very tribalistic. The only reason why conspiracists are really on this side is to seek validation rather than criticism from other conspiracists. And again, the internet helps with this because it allows them to reach a larger audience. Even those that don't believe in conspiracy theories, it allows them to still reach them through Facebook, Twitter, really any social media site. The Depot especially. The Depot is a major part of conspiracy theories. That's where most of them actually come from. Anxiety. Anxiety, by the Oxford Dictionary, is the feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease about something with an uncertain outcome. Conspiratorial thinking and anxiety are linked hand in hand. It is said that anxiety comes up during times of self-doubt or self-uncertainty. And being anxious can be described as feeling out of control or lacking control in one's own life. Paranoia. Psychology defines paranoia as a psychological disorder in which a person has delusions of being persecuted by others. Oh, whoopsies. Okay. Being persecuted by others or delusions of their own grandeur. Paranoia is a symptom of several different psychological disorders, including schizophrenia. Paranoia makes humans want answers that aren't there. It's just how it is. And it also, paranoia makes humans want to believe conspiracy a little bit more because they find it comforting. They help explain events such as assassinations, global warming, possible alien invasion, unexplainable phenomena that we can't explain in everyday life, so we draw our own connections. And the problem with this is the more connections you draw in your own brain, and the more things you think you actually know about the real world, the more delusional you become to the world in general. This is probably the easiest one to control, or to understand, the control factor. Less control over your life equals a higher chance to believe conspiracy theories, while vice versa, more control over your life equals a lower chance to believe conspiracy theories. Okay, so how are we susceptible to conspiracy theories? What are the easiest ways that they can get us? How do we fall for them? Self-validation, self-importance, social connection, need for individuality in today's social society, and the need to explain everything. And conspiracy theories aren't technically a bad thing. They've always been part of the human race. Whether it was the belief in mythical creatures, the belief in gods, whether it was thousands of years ago, they've all stemmed and become conspiracy theories. And it is a natural way of explaining the world around us. Humans want to know everything. We want to question everything. And we always want to believe there's more to this situation, or more than meets the eye. So why does this matter? Well, it matters because we're all susceptible to it. Conspiracies are just gossip, and all gossip is just talk among other people. And humans love to talk. We love to share ideas. We love to share what we experience, our experiences in the past years, really everything about ourselves. So, thank you. Have a nice day, and remember, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean that they aren't out to get you.
All right, thank you, David. All right, if you'll stay up there, we'll open it up to questions both from our audience members and from our panel. Let's sit there.
Kyle.
So some of the conspiracies you named, like whether or not Sasquatch exists, can't be disproven, right? Because it could always be a
Possibility of them out there, yes.
right. But then you mentioned global warming, for example, and that can be proven. We have a scientific explanation for it.
Yeah.
So how, in those cases, is it? Do you understand how to debunk conspiracies that are proven incorrect?
What do you mean by that? Pretty much like conspiracies that have already been proven, such as like global warming or like underground air bases like in Denver or something like
when
that.
There's a conspiratorial explanation for something that we have a legitimate explanation for
Right.
that counters. How do we use that how do we use the truth to eliminate bad conspiratorial thinking?
Well, the fact is that the conspiratorial thing is always going to be there. You can't just remove it. I mean, you can try, you can, put things on the internet and say that, you can say that for some reason that this is the truth and all of you who believe in this are incorrect. But, there are so many people out there, I don't think that would really reach everyone's ears. And in general, they would rather just debunk your argument and believe in their own.
And is it true that giving, if I could talk to a conspiracy theorist who, for example, may tell me that, the flag on the moon proves that it was done in a studio.
Right.
And then here's the scientific evidence of why that explanation is wrong. Will that make them change their mind and say, oh, you're right? Or will it make them dig their heels in and say, they've gotten to you?
There's two ways of looking at this, and it is two ways of what kind of conspiracies you're dealing with. I mean, I would consider myself a conspiracist. I believe in a lot of conspiracies, but if there's evidence against something I'm believing in, it's evidence. You can't really fight against evidence if there's a lot of it. So I would say that, yeah, they would probably say that they've gotten to you and the government's controlling your brain with probes.
Sorry, to follow up with that, so are you saying like the people that believe in those conspiracy theories, is it because of the like the different types of, like you said, social groups or alienation?
Yeah, the 6 factors of what we believe.
So is there one that's most common with people that like will not yield to like evidence?
The control factor. So the control factor also stems back from when you were young. It's believed that the less control you have of your life, the more belief in conspiracy theories, but it stems from mostly authority figures when you were young, having people flex power over you more, not allowing you to do what you really want, kind of feeling like you're kind of closed in from your own world as a kid, and it can kind of actually build up a lot of hate towards people above you, authority figures. And then you just build up, you realize that you hate your government for some reason, and you start finding conspiracy theories, and you're like, oh, well, this is why I hate the government, because they're keeping aliens from us. Area 51, they're doing a lot of different things, and that's why I don't believe the government's actually doing the best thing for us. I believe that the Illuminati is the controllers of the world. Dan?
Do you think that there's anything today that we know, like, in ourselves that we know to be true that may actually be false because it may be a conspiracy theory that got kind of big for everybody? Do you understand what I'm saying?
The pyramids. Pyramids of Egypt. So that's a big one, that aliens actually built them. And again, there's evidence to believe that they did and evidence that to believe that they didn't. So I would believe that in today's society, we could definitely disprove that just because of how much research we've already done on the pyramids. And we figured out how they built them, how much manpower it took to build them, stuff like that in general. Done.
So, straighten this out. You're saying that if somebody believes in a conspiracy and yet you can present evidence that that theory is not true,
Mm-hmm.
are you saying they will or are more likely or less likely to accept the facts as they are?
Less likely. Or more wait, what do you mean? Like less likely to accept that it's actually like a legit conspiracy, or more likely to believe that you're correct?
That you're correct. So you're saying information does or does not change. Information contrary to what they already believe,
Mm-hmm.
does that work?
Again, it depends on the person you're talking to, but most of the time I don't think it would work. Because you got to realize that a lot of these people who believe in these conspiracy theories have gone their entire lives or longer being told that they're wrong about these things. And, when they stick out to the conspiracists, who they believe to be smarter than the people in the outside world who have debunked their theories and told them that they're crazy, they're going to follow what they say. And most conspiracists say that the outside world is naive, and that really those who understand the truth are the ones in power. Kurt?
So you mentioned one of the factors being isolation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, that coupled with maybe some basic demographics, could you create or describe perhaps a profile of the classic conspiracies?
A classic conspiracist that was isolated from, alienated from the outside world.
I mean, I guess I'm asking, is that a prerequisite? I mean, I'm trying to imagine, like, Steve Jobs being a conspirator.
Okay.
Or, do conspiracists find themselves in a specific class, in a specific demographic of any variety, and is isolation a prerequisite for conspiratorial thought?
I would say that while isolation and alienation aren't the largest factors for why we believe in them, it is still a pretty big one. Because, again, you're isolated from the world, you want to kind of get back at them in some way, so you find reasons why you can. Find evidence to prove that you're better than these people because you know something that they don't. And that's like a main part in today, is to believe that you're smart is to know something that the other people don't. Sorry I can't really answer your question that well. I'm not really understanding it.
Well, that answered
fully.
the second part of the question was, is there a demographic that is more prone to conspiratorial thought?
Can you actually explain demographic? I don't know the word.
Like, so demographics are old or young, or white or black, or rich,
And like
or
so,
poor,
just
or-
like
Like a specific type of person.
Gotcha. So I was actually going to do more research on personality, ethnicity, and nationality for this, but there's not a lot of evidence. It really just strains across all humans in general. There isn't like a set. Well, actually, America. America is a large conspiratorial factor of the world. For some reason, we just love to create conspiracies, and we love to talk about them. I mean, Europe and South America, Japan, they all have their own conspiracies, but America definitely has the most. On the other hand, besides Chicago.
Well, what are the general behaviors of a conspirator versus someone who's just curious and finds truth in
Factors,
somebody
paranoia,
else?
anxiety, they, that's really just it, paranoia. They're paranoid and anxious about the world around them. They believe that the world's out to get them, so.
Are there any clinical diagnosis of people being paranoid, schizophrenic, and
Not that I know of like direct things that like these conspiracists have paranoia and anxiety and schizophrenia, so they're like locked up in sandstones or something. I don't know.
Because they don't want their brain to be tested.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta wear that tinfoil hat or something, right?
All right, we have time for one more question.
Kyle?
So I recently read a book by a prominent atheist, and his contention was that given that the concept of fate, which is based not on reason and evidence and logic, leads us to be susceptible to illogic in the rest of our life. So buying conspiracies or believing things that are in counter to evidence. How would you respond to that thesis?
That religion is kind of just like it makes us susceptible to the world around us, to these things. I could believe that. Religion is really far-fetched if you think about it. Really all of them are. They bring out some crazy ideas. People still believe them because, people like to believe what they want to believe. But as it is said, if you believe in one conspiracy, you're more likely to believe in other ones.
All right. Thank you, David. Just step outside for just a moment and we